Okay, the time is now 6:45. I'll call this pension board meeting to order for February 12th at 6:45. Roll call.
Art Gagnon.
Kevin Cunningham.
Peggy Laurie.
Dean Gorman.
And I did get a call from the fifth member who said she was not going to be able to attend tonight because she's out of town. So that's Christy is not here. We'll go right into item C, which to approve the minutes of the pension board meeting dated January 8th, 2020. That should be 24.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for January 8th, 2024.
And I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Item D, there's two items for new business to consider and act on pension distributions as requested. The first one is a list of 3 former police officers. You see their termination date. You also see a note down below that Haley was waiting on the state of Connecticut to roll into their pension. Each one is a little different for their amounts owed because of different length of service. Ian Fisher for $3,217.05. Haley Griffin for $29,592.66, and Devin Maxon for $515.90. You can either take them one at a time, or you can take them all as one, because all these are distributions back to them directly.
And is there a date?
Effective immediately.
I'll make a motion that we do them all at one time
For the amounts listed.
for the amount, yes, for the amounts mentioned, sorry.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the second one is for an individual who would like a distribution.
Point of order.
Yep.
On the first motion, you did not call for an abstention.
I'm sorry.
On the minutes.
You can call for extension.
Oh, okay. You,
I was not here, so I was saying.
okay, I will do that. All right, sorry about that. We are now into the item for town Plainfield pension calculation for Sherry Sawchuk. So Sherry was with the Board of Education as a paraprofessional and for 23 years. So she is putting a request through a monthly distribution of $427.17 to commence on February 1st, 2024.
Making a motion to approve the pension distribution for Sherry Sawchuk for $427.17 per month, starting 1 February 24.
For a second?
Second.
Dean? Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. That will conclude our pension business for this evening.
Move to adjourn.
Art?
I'll second it.
Peg? Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
At 6:48. All right, the time is now 7 o'clock. I'd like to call this Board of Selectmen meeting to order for February 12th, 2024, and ask you please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and roll call.
Art Gagnon.
Kevin Cunningham.
Peggy Laurie.
And item C is to approve the meeting minutes from Board of Select meeting from 1/22/24.
I make a motion we approve the meeting minutes from 1/22/24.
A second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item D, public comment. Okay, hearing none, we go into old business, of which we have none at this moment. Item F, new business number 1. Consider an act on tax refunds as requested by the tax collector totaling $115.63. Mitchell Bolio 4206, Mitchell Bolio 3118, David Desjardins, 2470, and Sean Sweeney, 1769.
Make a motion to approve the tax refunds in the amount of $115.63.
And I'll second it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, this is a discussion, just a discussion review, and there's a lot of work to be done still on this, but we do have a discussion review of the town Plainfield ordinances as listed in the town charter, section 5.3D. We're supposed to annually review them, whether it be typo, whether it be modification because if something wasn't listed properly.
How much time do you have?
Oh, we have plenty of time. But here's what I'm going to say. This is, I mean, Art's been doing a great job on this for years, and you've gone through multiple iterations of reviewing it, and every time we talk about it, you say, oh, I'm working on it, and there's more typos, and there's more typos. So.
There's a lot of,
We're almost there now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
it's got those 6 pages. The typos are probably have, there's like a number of ordinances in there with fees that are $1, $5. It takes some time.
So my question on that is, so if you have a concern with the fee structure, the way the ordinance is written, you know, we can make a proposal and bring it to a vote of the Board of Selectmen, then to bring it to a town meeting. Just bear in mind that we went through some issues in the past with charter revision, trying to change some numbers because they're 1984 numbers, which is similar to what we're talking about here. So we'd have to keep that in mind as to what we would consider would be a fair number. What we do, we actually say, okay, let's bring it forward to the town meeting. The town meeting would, to talk publicly, would say, you know, 25 is too much, 25 is too little, and we'd have to be able to get approval from the public in order to go forward.
I think before that, even, Peggy, we would have to go to that department. Like the building permit ordinance got redone
Right.
when Kathy was here, and they redid the fee schedule
It's
according to what the building inspector said.
Right, I'm talking about
So-
things like the sidewalk fee.
Right, well, still, we would have to go to the police.
Oh, absolutely.
If they were in charge of that, or whoever's in charge, and is this fee too low? Ask them first, the department that it concerns. They may say, no, this is just right, and they may say, yes, we should raise it, then we could go.
Most of our fees are $5.
I did write one down, it's $20 for the last 95 years
Mm.
for a peddling vendor fee. It's been $20.
I mean, it's, I
95
I
years.
read through the whole binder.
So,
You made some really good points, though, Art. I do agree with the proposals you've made for repeal, 100%.
yeah, those would have to go.
Those were, if we were going to start, I would say that would be where we should start. You know what I mean, with the proposals that don't, the ordinances that don't make any sense anymore. And then maybe move on to,
Yeah, well, it's not that we have to clean everything up all in one
no,
shot,
that's what I'm saying.
but, you know, typos are, if we were to make a new
We can
ordinance.
do that in one shot.
Yeah, we do that all in one shot, nice and easy.
By the next meeting, I'll have gone through them all, and we'll have everything as far as typos, or anything really, that's a question. And then we can go from there, I guess.
All right, why don't we do that? We can talk about it at the next meeting. Peggy, if you wouldn't mind all the ones you have a question on fees, list those out for us so we can review them.
Yep.
Okay.
And just so you know, this time I'm going through it, and I'm checking all the general statutes. I'm going to every one and checking if it concerns what it does.
I'm not sure it can be that complete, because I'm, you know which this,
Yeah.
but
Well, I got those.
Yeah. you do that, I got the fees.
But even still, we come back to the next meeting
Absolutely.
with these lists, then we can check the work.
Sounds good.
And then the meeting after that, we should be able to do the typos.
All right, so next meeting, we'll come back and share that documentation amongst ourselves, take it back for review, and in the following meeting, possibly at that point, look to go
Do the
to.
typos at least.
Yep,
And then go to the town meeting for the repeals.
Yep.
Yeah.
because the goal here is to get it so that we update as best we can so they can go to print and fix everything in the print. That's one of the things that we can put into the binder, but without having it fixed first, it makes no sense to have a new version of it printed up.
I agree 100%.
And especially if you're going to bring that pension,
Yeah, that's another one I want to bring forward, is
Ordinance,
the pension ordinance.
right? You've got to get that added first too.
Yep. All right, so let's plan for that next meeting to bring forth all that we have for either typos or fee structure changes or any other item.
Some of the ones I had questions on, I did find the answers to them by going to general statute and say, oh yeah, that was a typo. So I did figure some of those out too. So that'll help.
All right, so we can go on to item number 3 to discuss and act on a bid for a lease finance for the town of Plainfield highway truck. If you remember, in the budget season that we're in right now, we had put that in our budget and was approved by the taxpayers during the budget, that we go out to bid for a lease of a highway truck, and that's those larger plow trucks. So I included in the packet the actual invitation to bid for lease finance for the highway truck. We had one bidder. Fortunately, it was within what we anticipated for numbers for the actual cost for the lease. So it was for Spafford. So it was Spafford Leasing Associates who had put the bid in for $245,021.30 for the equipment and lease. So therefore, the schedule would be $100,000 for the deposit, and they would have 2 annual payments after that of $81,881.39. So because we went out to bid, it's the Board of Selectmen's purview to say yea or nay to this. And so that's what I would ask at this point.
What does something like that cost outright?
It depends on what you have for equipment on it, all done in one shot, but you can go from $250,000 to $300,000 for a vehicle that size. You'll see when we come forward to the next, when we sit down as a board putting the budget together, I put one up for an opportunity to buy one outright. So, yeah, it's current. It's very current.
So you're recommending this?
I'm recommending this, yeah.
So I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Spafford Leasing for $245,021.30.
And I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, discuss and act on appointment of department heads as prescribed in the town charter, section 8.1C. We have some modifications because of a change in staffing, and one because of a change where we anticipate to be doing more work with another department head. So I've made a modification in the contract for the supervisors, moving someone from one town hall to a town hall supervisor. So let me explain one at a time. As you know, we no longer have Mary Ann downstairs. She has gone to Putnam, so we have a need for someone now being the town planner. With that, Brian Bray has been following that process all along, and we put the bid internal for posting, and Ryan was the applicant, and he has the qualifications, so we're going to move Ryan into that position. But according to the charter, it says under 8.1C, you have to actually have it approved by the selectmen as the department head. So that's one. And the other one is Ron Roberts, moving Ron from one union to the other, giving him more responsibility as in the supervisor's position. I'll let you know now. If you remember last year for our budget process, we tried getting another person for the building and ground maintenance functions, because we're growing, we're moving more things out there for maintenance. So I want to put that again in this year's budget, and in doing so, I'd like to have Ron as the department head. I have already gotten a quarterly list of things we're going to review every quarter with Ron. I'm meeting with Ron on Thursday to do a walkthrough of every building, starting with the town hall. Here's the things you're going to do and you're going to update, and so I can review them as he is the supervisor. If you've noticed here, some of the things he's done, if you take a look at the registers that were pretty bad. We had actually had a lot of wood that was taken out of there, put plastic caps in temporarily, and then there was the pipes that were underneath. So he was working with Paul Gednian to do that. You'll see some of the molding's been replaced as well, repainted, and actually you can't even tell. Same thing out in the hallway, but he's going to do that on all, he's going to supervise all of that work right now, and some other things. One of the other things is we have those 2 fire escapes, which need to be, we've got a company that will actually take care of the welding of it. but we have to also cement down the base. So he's going to be doing that. There's a bunch of other things I've got listed for him, but we're going to do a walk around to make sure we have everything in place, and that's what he'll be doing. It's a matter of now whether he's trying to get it so we can actually put the boxes in, cement them down properly, and then be able to. Yep. So those are the two items, two people who I'm looking to have your approval to make as department heads via the town charter, section 8.1C. Brian Bray as our town planner, Ron Roberts as our buildings and grounds supervisor.
I'll make a motion to appoint Ron Roberts and Ryan Bray as department heads.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 This one, if you remember, we did this a while ago, Art. This is in 2021, but the state of Connecticut, in its wisdom, has decided to have a different form. And they've asked every town municipality, because it's a different form, we'd like to have it so it's done their way, which is discuss and act on appointing a municipal agent for elderly for the town of Plainfield. Mark Simmons has been doing that.
So he would be the...
He would be the person to be...
Senior ombudsman,
Yeah.
so to speak?
Yep.
Okay.
What's that?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to appoint Mark Simmons as the municipal agent for Elden.
And I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the last one on the list here is discuss and act on sending a letter to Northeast District Department of Health versus moving Plainfield to Uncas Health District. The background on that is that we have been working to try to find what serves the town of Plainfield best for our health district. I did not feel that we were being served well in the NDDH. If you think about having 25 to 30% of your businesses that are required to have tested, like restaurants, hair salons, it should be much higher than that. We were losing employees through NEDH so that we're getting done less and less. I don't know about you, but when I go out to a restaurant, I want to make sure that it is
Yeah, some places haven't been inspected in 3 years.
inspected and completed.
Yes.
So I went to and sent a letter. You're required for the health district here in NEDH to send a letter of intent to move out of the district. That's a requirement. You have to have it in before December 31st of each year. I put mine out well in advance. I also went down to meet with the Uncas group at their site, and they were very happy to see that we were interested in coming in there, but their concern was they also don't have enough staff. If they were doing 50 to 65% of their testing being done, if they added in the third largest town, then it would water down the abilities for them to be able to make sure that they kept that level or better. So they thanked me for coming. I told them I'm still interested in coming up next year, and if they would consider hiring more people and more staff, that would be helpful, and that's what they're trying to do. But I think I have a letter in there you'll see. With your approval, I'll make sure I send it back to the Northeast District Department of Health, and it is that the letter on behalf of the town of Plainfield, Connecticut, at my Board of Selectmen meeting, we voted to send a letter to inform you that the town of Plainfield is writing a letter as a formal notification that will intend to not opt out of your services as of June 30th, 2024, as the NEDH bylaws listed in Article 3, Section 12 states. The town of Plainfield does hope that NEDH will strive to provide positive results under new leadership and work diligently towards adding staffing to better service the residents of Northeast Region of Connecticut. They have no longer have a manager. Sue Starkey is no longer there. They're in a search right now. They have an interim taking place, but they're working on also adding staff. So I had a conversation with their representation expressing that we would like to stay on, and that's the reason why. But I also warned them. I said, this is not, can't continue like this.
Kelly sent the same letter.
Yep.
Have we considered forming another, something like NDDH, but amongst the towns?
Absolutely. There are 5 towns that said members. I think we were one of the first, and that's what started a lot of other people thinking, let's go. And to your point, Peg, yes. Members of NECOG, all but one of them are serviced by NEDH. The Voluntown is actually done by Uncas. Those members of NEDH who talked about just forming our own, ran up against a similar problem. A, you'd have to have some place to house it. Killingly was interested in housing it. B, We'd have to have staffing. We'd have to go through the same process of getting certified staff. Then you'd have to also have equipment, like you'd have to have vehicles. And then you'd have to go through the state of Connecticut approval, you'd have to get insurance. So all of those things added up, and it didn't make sense at that time.
Well, no, it doesn't make sense at this time, but to start the ball rolling, because I'm not sure, I'm not sure NDDH will be able to right the ship.
Right, that's why I continued my conversations with UNCUS, just in case. And I, at this point, really don't have a lot of faith in what they're able to.
I don't either, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think that NDDH has served us well for I don't know how many years. Plainfield's been a part of it, but I know how many killing we have, and that I'm not confident. So
Never mind.
to start and only doing 20, it was less than that last year. It was only 12% last year of the establishments that were inspected.
Mhm.
So, the conversation needs to be started if Uncasville is not able to, as well, is not able to hire the staff, because hiring staff anywhere for anything at any point, at any time, is a problem nowadays.
Yep. How much it costs, what their salaries are going to be.
Can you find them?
Yep. So that, matter of fact, they took 2 of the staff members from NDDH down to UNCUS.
I'm sure they did.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's, like I said, that's something we need to keep.
Yep. Well, that's why I continue the conversation with UNCUS,
Mhm.
saying I do attend. But anyways, if you are okay with it, I'd like to bring this, because there's no other way to go right now.
No, there isn't.
You have no other place to go to. And if, for those people who are listening, the idea would be, years and years and years ago, each town had their own. So they had their own clinicians who were going out and doing servicing. But that got to be too costly, that's why they had it as a...
That's not cost effective in any way.
Yep.
All right, I'll make a motion for you to send this letter to NDDH, but I would also like to have us start a conversation on what do you do if Uncasville can't accommodate because of staffing, and what do we do if NDDH is unable to right the ship that they have right now?
Okay. But for the motion, can we get it so it's just the...
I'm sorry, yes. So I make a motion that to send the letter to NDDH.
I'll second that.
I appreciate your back and forth with this, because it does need to be taken care of. So if there's no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And we will continue this conversation. So we're on the air. There is no other business. I just wanted to mention on other, I'm working right now for a couple of items. I've got the usual business of the town. We have a total of 6 contracts we're working on. Hopefully we'll get dates to start doing the actual work with that. There were 2 unions who just got a new representation from Hartford just today. So hopefully they can start getting their dates ready to go. I also have the budget which I'm preparing. I can tell you right now, with a 1.441 mil rate right now, I'm trying very, very hard to make it so that on the town side, we end up with 0 for an increase. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm also trying to add in a town engineer for $120,000, because it'll save us over $600,000 in the things we're about to do. I'm trying to hire in an IT person, because Kyle's going to retire in July 1. So we need a full-time IT person, which we really do need. There's also adding more, more into the budget, because you've got your contracts that are adding more onto the salaries, or their hourly rates, whatever it might be. There's a lot of work in there, but I think I can get it down so that we can actually end up with 0. The problem is going to be, after reval happened last year, how do you anticipate people are going to say, let's have a 2 mil increase? It's not going to happen.
Well, after that's
Yep, so we'll do everything we can in our powers to do something viable for the residents, trying to get it down to 0 on our side. If you've heard already, the Board of Education's their prelim numbers are $1.861 million increase, and I don't think that's going to fly either, because that's over a mil. It's 1.29 mil. It's probably not going to fly either. So, I will share with you what I have for budgets coming up soon, and have you review them, but it's going to be tough.
Especially after the increase from last year. People are not going to be happy.
So, other than that, I just wanted to make sure that if anybody's listening in the audience, that we know that tomorrow the town hall will not be open because of the weather. And so we will get right back at it on Wednesday. And
I have something. The
Yep.
Economic Development Commission,
Yep.
I had an inquiry as to when they were going to meet again, because I guess it's been canceled
Yep.
a number of times.
Yep, we will be going, I already mentioned to the new person who signed up, I sent that person an email. This will be canceled on this Thursday, but will definitely happen for the next month. So March will be their get-together meeting.
The main voyage.
Yep. And hopefully the same thing with Conservation Commission. I know they only have a few people, but hopefully they can get going, start working on some issues.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second it.
And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
7:22.